Good evening to all. Today we are having with us Professor V Kamakoti, the Director of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. So Professor Kamakoti was a faculty in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at IIT Madras. He is also holding numerous positions in various government agencies and bodies, including being a member of the National Security Advisory Board, Government of India. A very warm welcome to you, Professor. So when it comes to the education sector, the talk of the town is NEP and its implementation. As we all know, NEP focused on 5 pillars: affordability, accessibility, quality, equity, and accountability to ensure continual learning. It also calls for key reforms in the higher education sector that prepare the next generation to thrive and compete in the new digital age. To reap the benefits and demographic dividend of our country, implementation of NEP with strategic efforts are very much required. What are your thoughts on the NEP almost a year into its implementation, and how will it affect the higher education scenario?
See, NEP talks about a lot of things, the main issue that it has, main opening that it has given is, now it has given us a much more broader view of even a definition of a teacher, right? Just not looking only at pedagogy. Now we are looking at a teacher who can basically be a social entrepreneur, a person who can inculcate social entrepreneurship, a person who can inculcate, a different line of thinking, the person who can bring in some corporate social responsibility type of, impart that type of a feel. So there is more than the original pedagogy and traditional skill set. Now we are looking at different aspects of a teacher, right? And a teacher who will also be sort of, one who can create, contents which are more hands-on, who can create, who can look into interdisciplinary research. So there are many things that come out based on the NEP's ideas, right? So a teacher, a next gen teacher must be much more robust than just a normal educator, in the sense that the breadth of the education itself has now seeing a change here, right? Now, it is just I come to class, I teach something, I get test on something, I give marks and go out. And I follow certain pedagogy for teaching. That is gone now. Now I am now expected to bring in, I am now expected to generate the next generation, next gen student, a next gen entrepreneur, a next gen leader, a person with, who can be a policy maker, leader in the sense, say, a policy maker, the next gen, next gen researcher. So if even I look at the next gen researcher, that researcher has to be interdisciplinary. So the type of courses that I need to give is very important. And second important thing that also has come is that, people are now started looking at this, Google, for example, right? Your Wikipedia and Google and your YouTube basically, and NPTEL basically gives a lot of things that are taught in the books. So if I'm going to just teach whatever that is in the book, I don't think there is any interest among the students to come and sit in a class, right? There's many more things that we need to do. We need to make the courses more hands-on, make it more, very, very different, and give a different perspective than what you normally see in a textbook or different things. So that is something which is extremely important here. So this is what NEP has, and NEP also talks very much about skill development, very much about vocational training, very much about accessibility and inclusivity in a large sense, right? So now what we are doing from IIT Madras, right? Now it is something like we want to make IIT Madras an institute for all, right? And now we are opening it up. So one of the basic things which my predecessor took up very seriously, and he had come to a very nice stage, which now I am implementing and basically taking the credit, is is our online BSc program, right? So the BSc program now, BSc program in data science and programming we have now 12,500 students. There are, there were 11,000 plus students in the campus offline. Now it has become, in overnight, we actually, in 1 year, we have actually doubled our, strength in that sense, right? So that is also very, very important that, and today that does not have what we call as those demographic divide at all. I see from almost every state in the country has students who have enrolled for it. And then we have no age bar, and there are people who are employed, who have a lot of experience actually sitting along with the students who are young and trying to make, it's going very nicely. So this is sort of an ideal program that we would have envisaged, where any person can learn and, take the credit after learning. So that is also coming up very nicely. And so this is something where, and the UGC also has come out with a very wonderful, in my opinion, an historic order, right? Which says that you can do 2 courses at the same time, right? And that is extremely important here. So a commerce with data science, or any engineering with data science. Now this gives you 2 different perspectives. They get 2 degrees. Of course, they have to work hard, and then they work hard and then get this. And that will be essentially a game changer, in my opinion.
What is your opinion with regard to dual degree or joint degree courses? Do you think our public universities or higher education sector is well prepared for this?
Absolutely. So we have actually introduced 9 interdisciplinary degrees now, and almost every other universities with the higher education institutions with, say, reasonable 10 to 15 years of existence, or a little more also, and deemed universities have come out with these type of interdisciplinary educations, which is a dual degree, right? A dual degree is one part, interdisciplinary education is another part, right? So now what many institutes have done is that they have also merged this interdisciplinary with the normal degree. For example, IIT, a person can join, they say, let us say they join, say, computer science, and they really get interested in biology. They can do dual degree in one of these biological sciences, right? So, and they can get a degree in BTech in computer science and a MTech in biological science or computational biology. So we have opened up 9 to 10 such programs, like which spans across all the major disciplines like additive manufacturing, quantum sciences, quantitative finance, for example. We are just opening up a dual degree program. And this can also translate to be a master's program. For people who have completed BTech who come here, they can just do it as a single master's program. But these are the degrees that are going to be of very much help, rather than just looking at just computer science as an MTech or a EE as an MTech. So this is something which is picking up, and even our electives are becoming more interdisciplinary. So people who join electrical can actually take an elective which is biology, right? So I think all of us are fine-tuned, and we know that the future is only on this interdisciplinary education. So that is very important. Yeah,
that's very well thought of, sir. So different surveys highlighted the employability of graduates. For example, according to Global Employability University Rankings and Survey, few IITs in our country produce the most employable graduates. India was ranked as the 15th most employable country according to the Times Higher Education Employability Ranking 2020. At the same time, the QS ranking released last year, none of the Indian universities could make it to the top 100. IITs being an oasis in terms of employability of graduates, what would you suggest other institutions to increase their bar and produce the most qualifiable and employable graduates in the country?
As an institution, I don't think we can do much, except that the students have to study well. The students have to prepare well, right? The only solution for this. I have no other answer. The institutions have to basically amend their syllabus. Of course, all the universities cannot have some old syllabus and say that, we do something, right? The syllabus has to become more sort of, contemporary in that sense. That is the only thing that we can do. And we are continuously upgrading it. And many of this we are putting on NPTEL also. And many universities also ask the student to basically go into the NPTEL, credit it from NPTEL. This is very close to the ABC, which we are talking of, Academic Bank of Credits, which the NEP actually, as recommended, right? Where people can basically start earning credits from different institutions, and they have this bank, and then based on that, there can be some lot of good things that can happen. And I think many people are working together to make ABC as a very nice concept, right? It's very important, right? So many things will happen based on ABC. I believe on that, but ABC is still existing. The Academic Bank of Credits is still existing in some form, wherein these NPTEL courses, which are state-of-the-art courses, which are formed by the IITs, and that are put there, and people can actually take those courses and take some credits and take back. The main issue today is every student have to prepare well, should spend a lot of time. Simple things will help, right? No great thing that we need to increase the employability. If you take a book, please work out the problems in the exercises. Now, take a survey, how many students are actually doing it today across India, right? That is the problem. The examination, when they test, they also ask from the theory. They don't ask from exercise problems. There's one simple thing that we need to do. See, the mandate of an education institution is only to make them prepared to face the industry. It's not to make them industry ready.
Absolutely, sir.
Right? I'll give all the fundas so that they are able to face the industry. While creating this fundas, the way I test them is I just test on the concepts, or how do they use the concept. There are two different ways of looking at this testing. Now, what does IIT do? We test them on questions which use the concept that we have taught in the class, or not on the concept itself, right? And that's a small deviation in this question. But then, where will a student find that type of an exercise? Let them take a book end to end, from where the title of the book to who has published the last cover page, right? Work out all the problems, work out all the exercise problems. If they do this for their core subjects in every engineering, I'm sure I'll give you 100% guarantee that the employability of every institution will increase, right? Before I took the director position, I was Associate Dean of my Industrial Consultancy and Sponsored Research Cell. I could not recruit one person who can write some simple Java code, even though I offered 60,000 rupees a month. Okay, so I could not recruit one person to simple Java code and stuff like that, because the people who had that level of experience had a very good job in the outside industry, and people who came for the job could not do that. So the point is, students have to work out exercise problems, and overnight we can change this. You say it definitely not be done overnight, definitely can be done overnight. They have to burn the night lamp and work hard till 12 o'clock in the night and finish those exercises.
So since you have mentioned a supply and demand gap, do you think that there should be a greater level of collaboration between higher education institutions and employers? So if you're agreeing that there should be a greater collaboration, in what way and how you can strengthen this link?
See, higher education institution and employers, the link will be very strong, provided we produce people who are employable by them. They are ready to train them for 2, 3. So take all the big companies here. You have excellent training platforms, training for their job needs. But again, the collaboration will automatically come the moment they find out that your students are well equipped to go and handle this. Now that equipping them to basically handle this type of a scenario, it comes from generating this manpower and making them very strong on their fundamentals, so that they could answer the questions that are being put. They are not going to put some great questions, right? They are putting some normal questions, average questions. Now the problem is, even answering these average questions is a problem, because people are not working out what I told you. So my question is, for all the questions you ask about employability, I have only one single answer. Every fellow for every core subject, take the real book, the standard book in the subject, work out every exercise problem. Your employability problem will be solved overnight. Okay. Next question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So coming to what you specialize in CS and IT related fields, there is continuous innovation which requires continuous learning for the people in this field. What type of programs do you think are suitable for such learning types? While IIT offers these kind of courses, is there widespread adoption of these? And how can these courses become more mainstream to enable a continuous increase of productivity of our workforce?
So any emerging field, for example, quantum, right, will take some, at least in my opinion, at least a decade to actually become a sort of a stable thing, right? Even 5G looked how much time it took, right? 4 or 5 years. So anything that we work as a novel stuff, for it to graduate into a curriculum will take at least 5 to 6 years, where we put it into the curriculum and start teaching subjects. Right? So yes, there is a continuous learning. A continuous learning today, when I'm looking at today employment, this is based on some concepts that have originated at least 8 to 10 years before, which has now graduated into a product now, and that graduated into a field which can be commercialized, and that is where the employment is coming. So there is a time gap between a origin of a field and then that field maturing and then becoming a mainline subject and becoming a high employment oriented field. There is a time for graduation. So today, that is one important part that we need to keep. And one of the interesting thing is that there are a lot of, even in computer science and IT, though the field is evolving, there are certain basic concepts that never change. Right? So the basic concepts have to be very clear, and many of these courses are already available on NPTEL and SWAYAM platform, where we covered this in a great depth, much elaborate than what we see elsewhere. And these are the courses which need to be constantly looked for. We have also discipline-wise courses. So if you are a CS graduate, we have the latest courses. People have to consistently keep looking at it and start enrolling for the NPTEL courses, NPTEL/SWAYAM courses. And that will be something which you can keep yourself, at least, today's industry trend. There are courses for every industry trend you can point out. There will be a course in NPTEL which will make you aware and take you to a greater depth so that you can get an employment. To that extent, the NPTEL courses are there. So this is my only solution here as of now. And for some of the very fast growing field, even getting some solid textbooks are going to be difficult. And that is where NPTEL will play a very important role, where we basically read out research papers, first get the idea of what to teach, and then come and teach that. And over a period of time, that essentially can become a book by itself. So this is how you bridge this fast growing, fast changing technology and the knowledge about how do you handle it. Yeah.
Right. So a majority of India's 100 unicorns, most of which were crowned unicorns only over the last 2 years, have founders with an IIT background. So 73 of India's 100 unicorns have at least one founder from 23 IITs. So what is the secret sauce to foster entrepreneurship? So
yeah, so in IIT, we have a very idea to product flow that we have perfected. Right. So if I'll talk about IIT Madras, which I'm very conversant, and of course other directors will talk about when you interview them. We have something called Nirman, which basically you have an idea. So no more than that. So we have a very interesting AI-based tool by one of the startups in Chandigarh, ExcelPat, which is a novelty checker. Okay. So what we have created at IIT Madras is there's something called HAI visit, HAI visit. Have an idea, visit. Okay. So if you have an idea, you actually visit this tool, and then you put that idea. It's basically keyword plus lot more of contextual searching, and this will give you very interesting things about what are all the competing ideas that are patented. What would be the novelty of your idea? What is the total addressable market if you actually convert this idea into some product? So many things it gives you. That's an initial pointer. So the moment you have a product idea, you come through this high. Okay. And then the second important thing is that once this idea is patentable, then you actually make out a provisional patent there. But at the same time, you start conceptualizing this idea to a model. Okay. Idea to a model. Then once you get a model out of it, there'll be some funding, there'll be some mentorship, everything awarded at this stage. This is what Nirman does. Once that model comes in place, then there is a center for innovation where you convert this model into a sort of a provable prototype of TRL2 level, right? So technology readiness level 2. Then this is called CFI, Center for Innovation. There we allow them. Then after that, once you get this sort of prototype, then you apply for a startup. So we have 5 incubators in IIT Madras. One is the IIT Madras Incubation Cell, which is a mother incubator. Then we have an incubator for cyber physical systems. This is funded by the DST. We have an incubator for health technology. We have an incubator for rural technology. We have an incubator for biotechnology, bioincubator. So we have 5 incubators here. And so these people can come to these incubators, and then basically they can make this presentation, they can make a pitch, and so the incubator allows them to give them some funding in return of some equity, and then also give them all the mentorship, etc., and make them incubate a startup company. Once that is there, then we have this Gopalakrishnan Deshpande Center for the GDC, which actually mentors this startup. And then there are a lot of mentorship programs, a lot of connect with the investors, connect with market, connect with other industry, which can give purchase orders to the startup, and we start growing these startups. So since this whole thing has gone through a sort of very rigorous thing, and that is perhaps the reason why we are able to churn out many more unicorns. And I believe in the next 5 years of my term, at least 3-4 unicorns will come out of IIT Madras.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear, sir. Yes. But on the other hand, we also have non-IITians. The ingrained bias for IITs could well be making it harder for non-IIT students to get investments for their ventures. Do you think non-IITians still have a long way to go?
No. So many of these initiatives, especially at the incubation and CFI, we are actually opening it up to pan-India. So as I told, IIT Madras is Institute for All. Our incubators are open for pan-India people to apply. Number one. And many of the companies we have seen are also non-Indian, the non-IITians. Okay, so that is one point. The second point is that one of the interesting projects that IIT Madras Incubation Cell has taken is called 10X, where we are going to connect to all the incubators across the country, whether it's a small incubator, big incubator, everybody we are going to collect and say, let us work together to achieve what you call as, we want to go and incubate 1,000 companies every year. Right? And that is some big target that we have. And so this 10X program is started very well and it's going on. And I think we will reach a very big stage. Yeah.
It's wonderful to hear and good to hear that IITM courses and initiatives is all for all. Yes. So in recent reports, IITM has raised 130 crore rupees in the past year from alumni and corporates. The alumni and corporate path of raising funds is one that is followed widely in countries like Western countries, like mostly in US. So do you see this path of raising funds from corporates and alumni being one which could solve the crisis of financing in India's education scenario? Also, do you think this path of having endowment funds will improve industry connect and employability, as these come with specific requests as to where these funds should be used for?
See, actually, we have raised 131 crores, I think, this year as a part of our CSR, corporate social responsibility and donations and endowments. Okay, so there are 3 ways of looking at it. Yes, number one is this fund that is being raised is something that actually sort of complements the grants that we get from industry and the and the government, basically to carry out many of our research activities, right? And so that is surely a path by which we can we see more of money flowing in, through which we can go and make certain constructions and take it forward. Okay, so this is one part. Make certain infrastructure development, fund people, fund students, fund faculty, fund other project staffs. You know, IIT employs around 2,200 project staffs who are from different other institutions. They are coming here and working on different projects. Like 2,200 of them. I just finished a meeting. I just had that numbers. So these project staffs are funded by not just this 130 crores, but we have made this year we have crossed also 1,000 crores of total fundraising from our sponsored research to total sanction of money due to sponsored research and consultancy. We have crossed around 1,000 crores. So that is something also which is bringing up what we call it is. So this 130 crores that you have got in the reports is only about alumni donations, corporate social responsibility funding. But then there are funding given for specific projects, as you have rightly mentioned, which is the sanction, as I told, is around 1,000 crores this year. So yes, so other important thing is many of these, this 130 crores, since you have asked about 130 crores, it takes us very close to a lot of societal problems. Like I myself personally have got projects which is worth around 6-7 crores this year out of this 130, where we are working at with agriculture. One project I have got for agriculture, one project we have got for setting up rural technology centers, projects we are going to get for setting up rural interaction centers. So this takes us very, 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 very close to the the real societal needs. For example, we also had a corporate social responsibility to one of my colleagues for this development of this sewage cleaner, automatic robo for sewage cleaner. So more than the employability part and other things, which this basically, these grants helps us. First, it brings our faculty very close to the reality in life, the social reality. At the same time, it also brings our faculty close, very, very close to the very, very close to what we can term as the entrepreneurship stuff, right? So because we now see certain problems, we see societal problems, local problems, and we are now looking at how to solve them, right? And each of these solutions can basically lead to a startup, right? So we are this funding is one on our it gives a social bent of mind. This 130 crores, many of that money gives us understands what society needs, so that we start developing locally relevant solutions, which will be having a societal and local economy impact, and probably later take to the global side. And on the other hand, it also enables us to start looking at entrepreneurs who become who have a market in the local, who have a very good local market and probably a good global market.
That's wonderful to hear, sir. So best wishes for all your future endeavors. So with this, I wanted to thank you for being here. Being an expert in the field, you have shared some helpful insights with us. We are grateful for your willingness to participate in the event and share your views about such a crucial topic. Yeah. Thank you for your time and efforts that helped make the event a success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See you. Bye.